Killed and 53 others have been injured in a shootout at a gay nightclub in Orlando. The attack is the worst mass shooting in recent U.S. history. Police say that the gunman was not from the area and that the attack is being investigated as an act of terrorism. The gunman has been identified as 29-year-old Omar Mateen. He was shot dead by police about 3 hours after the shooting began. Police recovered a rifle and a handgun. Mateen also has had what appeared to be a device strapped to his body. A controlled explosion of the device was carried out. Police are still investigating whether he acted alone or as part of a group. Well, to give us a little bit more on this developing story, we're now joined by a correspondent in the US, Mimi Chiahemen. Thank you very much for joining us, Mimi. The United States must be waking up to shock news because this happened in the very early hours of the morning, didn't it?
Yes, very, very early hours of the morning. It was about 2 a.m. when there were first reports that police were engaging with the gunman in a gun battle outside of the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. So absolutely, those who have their phones switched to automatic news alerts woke up to absolutely devastating news. First, the numbers that came in as far as the death toll was about 20 people. And then at a later press conference, the mayor said he regretted to announce that the death toll has climbed to now about 50 people killed.
So details are starting to come through. We know that the gunman was 29 years old. He's been named. What else is starting to come through? Because I guess the big thing here is motive. And the fact that it was a gay nightclub, does that have anything to do with that at this stage, or do we not know?
At this stage, yes, because we have heard that the gunman's parents have spoken to authorities and media sources as well, local media sources. And the gunman's father said that he understands that his son became upset at the sight of two men kissing. Now, the gunman is a U.S. citizen, I think it's important to note, although his parents do come from Afghanistan. But they say that they had no idea that he had any plans to carry out this attack. They do not stand by his actions, and that they are, along with the rest of the nation, very deeply shocked, and they have absolutely criticized even what may have been the motive, whether it is his ties to reported Islamic extremism. Both his parents have said they offer absolutely no support.
All right, so President Obama must be concerned. He's often had to give some difficult speeches about gun control, and I'm sure that this is going to be an election issue coming through when Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton go head-to-head. Has there anything come out of the White House at this stage?
We are awaiting a press conference from President Obama. He's scheduled to speak in just about 10 minutes' time. So we'll know more about exactly what perspective he takes on this. But I think that he's going to echo speeches that he has made, unfortunately, in the past, including at the last one where he said he would not be surprised if he had to deliver remarks like this again in the remaining time of his presidency, which is just a few months at this point. And as you say, this is an election year, and so the conversation about gun control reform in the U.S. Is certainly going to be even a bigger part of any campaign platform, I would imagine, after this.
All right, we're running out of time, but just one last question. We believe that a state of emergency has been declared in Orlando. What will this mean? And it's a pretty serious move, isn't it?
Yes, it is a very serious move, and it's what differentiates this shooting from some that we have seen in the recent past. But it essentially means that Orlando will be able to get more resources deployed to them to help in both the investigation and in treating those who have sustained injuries. The last I heard was that people were lining up in Orlando to donate blood to those who are still in hospital with their injuries. And it seems like this move is going to be one that's going to help the city recover a little bit faster and certainly with more resources than they might otherwise have. But it certainly does emphasize and underscore how deadly this shooting was and really what a big event this is for the U.S.
All right, and that's where we'll leave it. Thank you very much indeed. That's our correspondent, Mimi Chiahemen, who's reporting there from New York about what's being described as the worst shooting in recent U.S. history. Anyway, let's cheer you up a little bit, perhaps a little, with the sport up next with Pearl.